Welcome to MTG Friends, I'm Ryan, and in this episode we're going to be talking about Kirik, Son of Yawgmoth Commander deck tech. Now, Kirik, Son of Yawgmoth is one of my absolute favorite commanders of all time, and here's why. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about the packages we have here. We have the Graveyard package, we have the Removal package, the Life Gain package, because it's very important, the life gain and life management because of Kirik, the Dark Army package, the Land package, the Ramp, the Draw, and of course, in every episode I do that's a deck tech, the Shenanigans section. So let's start off with Kirik himself. Alright, he is a 4 phyrexian, 2/2 drop. Phyrexian, you say? Oh yes. Phyrexian can be paid with either black mana or 2 life. It's a life link, and for each black in a cost, each black pip, you may pay 2 life rather than pay that mana. Whenever you cast a black spell, put a 1/1 counter on Kirik, Son of Yawgmoth. We are going to be levering these mechanics like a madman / woman throughout your entire game. So let's jump right into the first package, which is the Graveyard section. Alright, starting off at the top of this list is Agadeem's Awakening. It is a modal card, so it has a bolt land on the other side where you can put in a black mana land, not a swamp, a black mana land for 3 life because it's a bolt land. And on the other side is return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each has a different converted mana cost X or less. This is right out of Zendikar Rising, one of the, if not the most powerful cards in that set. There are a few others that will definitely give it a run for its money, but it is a great card. Animate Dead. Now this thing is enchant a creature in your graveyard. Now it's in your graveyard or their graveyard. When Animate Dead enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature put onto the battlefield with Animate Dead. Return enchanted creature card to the battlefield under your control and attach Animate Dead to it. When Animate Dead leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it. Enchanted creature gets -1/0. So you get to go grab a creature out of a graveyard and put it on the battlefield. That is super duper. Yes, it is. It's not super expensive either. Alright, Oversold Cemetery. For a 2-drop. Oh man, is that a funny name or what? It's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That mechanic's great, and it only costs 2. Play this card. Phyrexian Reclamation for 1. It's a 2 cost, pay 2 life, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Another way of getting cards back into play. Reanimate. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Notice it says a graveyard, so that means any graveyard. You lose life equal to its converted mana cost. Now we're going to be playing games with our mana. Just keep that in mind as we go into the next sections. Grave Titan. This will start our Dark Army section. It is a 6-drop 6/6 Death Touch. Whenever Grave Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, put 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield. Now, keep in mind, these black costs, we're going to be using life to be getting them out, teasing them out. So these hefty prices on these cards are not actually as hefty as you think. I mean, of course we can play it. We don't have to spend the life to put these out. So you're just going to have management with your life. Absolutely. Macaeus the Unhallowed for 3 black 5/5 Intimidate. Whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. Other non-human creatures you control get +1 and have Undying. Now Undying just means if it dies, you bring it back with a +1/+1 counter on it. What more do you need to say about that? Fantastic card. There are probably a couple alternatives you can put into it for budgetary reasons. We will kind of get into the budgetary reasons in a little bit. It's more of a generalized thing. If there's a specific card that can be swapped out for budgetary reasons, usually in the land base, I'll mention it. Pestilence Demon for 5 black 7/6 flyer. Pestilence Demon deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. So it is sort of a board clear rolled into a huge body roll it in to ping your opponents if you need. And on to the next Dark Army. Pontiff of Blight for 6/7 extort. Whenever you cast a spell, you may pay black. White, black, but black's the only relevant part. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. Woohoo! Other creatures you control have extort. Again, a way to play with the life. Skithrix is just a solid card. It's a 5-drop 4/4 flyer with Infect. You can spend 1 black and you can give him haste. He hits for 4 Infect. You can also regenerate him for 2. Now Infect, in case you don't know, and check out our other episode on Infect, is if you hit an opponent for 10 total Infect life, they lose the game. 10 poison counters, they lose. So he's super effective because you can give him haste. There really is not a replacement for that crazy card. Twilight Prophet for 4/4 flyer has Ascend, so if you have 10 permanents out, he gets the City's Blessing. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put into your hand. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life. Notice the life gain, where X is that card's converted mana cost. Black Market for 5. When a creature dies, put a charge counter on Black Market. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add 1 black for each charge counter on Black Market. So, we are obviously into the ramp section. This is a solid black card. Play this card. Do not replace it with something. Blood Celebrant. 1 black. Pay 1 life. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. This is just a great way to ramp up your mana. Yes, great card. And not expensive. Bubbling Muck for 1. This is an oldie but goodie. Until end of turn, whenever a player taps a swamp for mana, it produces an additional black. So this is a way that we can tease out more mana in the beginning, mid-game, if and when we need it. Crypt Ghast for 4, extort. When you cast a spell, you may pay black. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. Whenever you tap a swamp for mana, add 1 mana to your mana pool. Nothing else needs to be explained over that. Dark Ritual. Pay 1 to get 3. Moving on. Gilded Lotus. Oh, this is just great mana ramp. You should be running this in most of your commander decks. Add 3 mana of any 1 color. Well, we're only doing black, folks. Play this card. Jet Medallion. Black spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. No brainer. Play that card. Mana Crypt. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Mana Crypt deals 3 damage to you. Add colorless. Okay, this is expensive. You can definitely swap this out for a few different cards. Just throw in, I don't know, something else that gives you 3 colorless. Something that gives you, just put something else in that doesn't cost as much if you don't have it. Nirkana Revenant, 6-drop 4/4. Whenever you tap a swamp for mana, add an additional black mana. And for 1, Nirkana Revenant gets +1/+1 until end of turn. I mean, like I said, we're going to be playing with that mana and that life and Kirik's abilities to really start messing with these black pips. Soul Ring, run it, of course. Dark Confident. Run this card because at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its converted mana cost. So this is part of our draw section. This is just a super solid staple in black. There really aren't any replacements for this card, so I'm not even going to recommend one. Demonic Tutor for 2. Search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Just put in a cheaper tutor. Super easy. Erebos, God of the Dead. Indestructible. As long as you devotion to black is less than 5, Erebos isn't a creature. We don't really care about that all that much. Your opponent can't gain life, but it is a bonus once you do get that. And you probably will have that because he's a 5/7 indestructible. But more importantly, for 2, pay 2 life, draw a card. So draw. Greed. Pay 2 life, draw a card. Plus the black. So, Necropotence, staple in black. Escape your draw step. Whenever you discard a card, discard. Exile that card from your graveyard. Pay 1 life. Exile the top card of your library face down. Put that card into your hand at the beginning of your next end step. Super effective way to get cards and draw cards. Razaketh the Foul-Blooded for 5 black. He is an 8/8 flying trample. Oh, he is a beast, man. Well, technically, he's a demon. Pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a card, and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. So he's just a super Giganosaurus Rex 8/8 that's also a tutor, all built into one disgusting demon. Vampiric Tutor. What can I say about this? Cost 1. It's super expensive. Financially. Search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. You lose 2 life. Swap this out for another tutor if you don't have it. Vilis Broker of Blood works super efficiently with Crick. Yeah. 5 black, 8/8 flying. Pay 2 life. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. But more importantly, whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. So you choose when you're using life with Kirik. So this is just super duper awesomeness. Maximus to the max. Yawgmoth Thran Physician, a staple in black, a 4/4 protection from humans. Pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature, and draw a card. So this is a way you can stabilize the board if you need to get something that's super sticky gone off of the other side. And notice this says pay 1 life, so you can stack multiple creatures if you want, but even better, you can proliferate it for 2 if you discard a card. All right, here is the removal package. Starting off with one of the best removal in all of space and time for black. Damnation, the black version of Wrath of God. For 4, destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Moving on. Deadly Relic, one of the new ones. I believe from Commander 2020. Yes, I don't believe, I actually know. If you control a commander, you may cast this spell without paying its mana cost. Exile target creature. Who doesn't love free cards? Who doesn't? I don't know anyone who doesn't love free cards to play. Feed the Swarm. This is, in my opinion, an auto-include in every black deck until the end of time because of this second part. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You read that right, folks. You lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. This is the first time ever that black has the ability to destroy an enchantment in the color black. This is not an expensive card. This is a vital card because it gives more tools in the toolbox for black. It is a fantastic, I'm going to say it 3 times, fantastic card. More removal. Font of Agonies for 1. Whenever you pay life, which is going to happen a lot, put that many blood counters on Font of Agonies. For 2, remove 4 blood counters from Font of Agonies. Destroy target creature. This card is going to be levered fabulously in this deck. Liliana Dreadhorde, General for 6, and it's a 6 loyalty. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. Well, creatures are going to die, folks. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token for an uptick of 1. A downtick of 4, which you can do immediately. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Each player! So you're probably playing with 3 other people. They're all sacking creatures. Haha! And you can tease this thing out for 4 if you got Kirik out. So, play it. And then it's ultimate. Each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifice the rest. We're not really playing it for that. We're playing it for the other 2. Mutilate for 4. All creatures get -1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. Well, we are running nothing but swamps and utility lands, people. So this is a great card. Run it. And it's not expensive. It's like $1. No Mercy for 4. Whenever a creature successfully deals damage to you, destroy it. They're going to think twice about attacking you. This is a very unique and very cool card and a very old card. I have this card. I actually went and got this card specifically for this deck. Phage the Untouchable. For 3 black. When Phage the Untouchable enters the battlefield, if you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game. Well, don't cast it from anywhere than other your game, people. Whenever Phage deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. And the greatest part about this card, whenever Phage deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. Wah, wah, wah. Alt win. Alt win. Reaver Demon. Oh, man, this is disgusting. These demons are disgusting, aren't they? 4 black, 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 black for 6/6. So you can tease this out for 4 and, well, a handful of life. 2, 4, 6, 8 for 8 life. Flying, when Reaver Demon enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, destroy all non-artifact, non-black creatures. They cannot be regenerated. Board clear. Yes. Not expensive, because it's a really janky card. Thoughtseize, for 1. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. You lose 2 life. Staple in black. Toxic Deluge for 3. As an additional cost to cast a spell, pay X life. That's fine. All creatures get -X until end of turn. This is going to get rid of those super sticky, indestructible creatures that you can't get rid of other than exiling it or minusing them like this. This has been reprinted recently. Tongue-tied, people. Tongue-tied. So it's gone down in price just a little bit. Oh, this is a new one right out of Jumpstart. I actually cracked one of these in one of our previous episodes. It's a 5-drop 4/4 from Jumpstart. Death Touch. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature and you return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, so you get to fetch some cards. You get to make them sack. Oh, it's got a decent 4/4 body and Death Touch, so it's a blocker. Yay. I mean, yay. In fact, this card is probably in reach of my hands right now. All right, we are in the land package. Barren Moor. It's got cycling. It's black. Bojuka Bog. This one is fairly important because you can, I believe, add black, but then you can enter the battlefield, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. So you choose 1 player, so that's, I mean, it'd be cool if it was all of them, but, you know, you can't have everything in a card. Or can you? Can you? I don't know. Cabal Coffers. For 2, add black to your mana pool for each swamp you control. This is a spendy card financially, so just swap this out for a swamp. Yeah, just swap it out for a swamp. But play that card if you have it. Cabal Stronghold. Add black for each basic swamp you control. Oh, fantastic. Not quite as cool as Cabal Coffers, but super cool. And you can pick it up for less than $4. Castle Locthwain. Boy, when this came out, everybody was super excited about these Eldraine lands. And they are still excited about these lands. So you can tap it for black, or you can draw a card. Then you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. And also, remember, it comes into the battlefield untapped if you have a swamp, which we are absolutely going to have that. Crypt of Agadeem enters the battlefield tapped. Not a big deal. Add black to your mana pool. Or, for 2, tap, add black to your mana pool for each black creature card in your graveyard, which is most likely going to be more than 1. Most likely. Myriad Landscape. Myriad Landscape enters the battlefield tapped. For 2, sacrifice Myriad Landscape, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and share a land type. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Mana fixin'. Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. Yes. For 2, tap, choose a color. Black, of course. Add to your mana pool an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. Whoo-wee! Not really a replaceable card, but if you don't have it and you don't have the budget for it, just put in a cheap black swamp or something else that is got some kind of a mechanic with it. Phyrexian Tower. Sacrifice a creature, add black, or it just gets 1. So just adding to the coolness of the land package. When Radiant Fountain enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. I know it doesn't sound very significant, but a land that gives you 2 life can be helpful. Reliquary Tower. You have no maximum hand size. I mean, why would you play this? Especially when we start looking at the draw mechanics, you know, Necropotence, things like that. Shitsu Death Storehouse. Add black to your mana pool, or black tap. Target legendary creature gains fear until end of turn. Fear just means it's going to be unblockable unless it's a black creature or an artifact. And then we are running, how many are we running? 22 swamps and a witch's cottage. Now, at first you might be like, what? A witch's cottage? Really? But if it comes in with 3 or more swamps, you get a food token. Well, I'm not going to turn down a food token that gives me life. But more importantly, when it hits, you get to take, when it hits the battlefield untapped, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of the library. So you can choose to put something else up there that may have ended up there from shenanigans of your other players. Oh, shenanigans. We haven't even hit the shenanigans section yet. Now, the Reservoir for 4. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. Pay 50 life. Aetherflux Reservoir deals 50 damage to target creature or player. Now, this is in here not for that second part, but it's mostly in here to just keep the life gain accruing. And of course, if you need to use that pay life, you can, but you're not gonna because we're not playing that kind of a deck. Ayara, First of Locthwain for 3 black, 2/3. Whenever Ayara, First of Locthwain, or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain some essential 1 life. Sacrifice another black creature, draw a card. This thing has so much going on with it, and because we're running mono black, why wouldn't you include this? You would definitely include this, because it's a very versatile card. Blood Artist for 2. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I hope that you see why this is in this deck. Life gain. Dread Presence, also some life gain. Whenever Swamp enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. You draw a card and you lose 1 life, or Dread Presence deals 2 damage to any target and you gain what? 2 life. Yep. Life Management. Exquisite Blood. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. This is a super essential card with Keurig. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. Oh, that is wunderbar. And that doesn't mean from you necessarily. It's just loses life in general. So that means from the other opponents as well. So if an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. Banana's great card. Exsanguinate. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. X black black. Each opponent loses X life. You gain life equal to the life lost that way. Bueno. Gray Merchant of Asphodel. Did I say that right? 5-drop 2/4. When Gray Merchant of Asphodel enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. I remember drafting this card and just thinking, wow, this is a really strong black card. And it is. And it's even stronger in a mono black commander deck. So run this card. Run it, folks. Run that card. Nighthawk Scavenge, the new addition to the collective of black great cards. 3-drop, 1+ star/3. Flying Death Touch Lifelink. Nighthawk Scavenger power is equal to 1+ the number of card types among cards in your opponent's plural, graveyards. So this thing can start getting pretty large. And it's a flyer and a Death Toucher and a Lifelinker. Man. Super solid card. It's solid in standard. It's solid in draft. It's solid in commander. And I'm pretty sure it's probably solid in some legacy stuff too. Don't hold me to that legacy stuff though, because I don't delve into there too much. All right, another staple of Lifelink. Shadowsphere for 1. Did I say sphere? Shadowsphere for 1. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. The lifelink part is the most important here. But equally as important is this. For 1, permanents your opponent control lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So any of those indestructibles or hexproofers that are out there causing you problems, you pay 1 and they don't have it anymore and you can whack-a-mole them. Yeah, totally. Do that. Vito Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Oh, right out of Core 21. What a great addition to black. Cost you 3 and that's it. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. For 5, creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. I need say no more about that. Whip of Erebos for 4. Oh, this is nice. This is very nice. You got Shadowsphere in this thing in one commander deck. For 4, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So the lifelink is great, but this other portion of it could be vital depending on what you're pulling out of the graveyard. Boluses Citadel. Wow, has this become a staple in any of the life gain type stuff? 3 black, black, black. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. So basically, you can pay life to play a card. Holy moly. Yeah, great card. It's actually cheaper than I would think it would be. It's only less than $5. I think this thing's going to go up in value in the long term for sure. Chainer Dementia Master for 5/3/3. All nightmares get +1/+1. We're not really running that many nightmares. Pay 3 life. Black, black, black. Pay 3 life. Put target creature card from a graveyard into play under your control. Ha! Whoa! That creature is black and is a nightmare in addition to its creature types. When Chainer Dementia Master leaves play, remove all nightmares from the game. That's all right. That's okay. Great card. Great, great, great card. All right, this is a super funny, janky card. I remember when this first came out in, what was it? It was in Ravnica, yeah. I used to try to run this card in Standard. No, that deck sucked. Anyways, but this is a fun card and great in Mono Black Commander. Helldozer. For 3, you destroy target land. If that land was non-basic, untap Helldozer. Oh, man. That's just a mean card. And it's less than $2, folks. $2. Imp's Mischief for 2. Change the target of target spell with a single target. You lose life equal to that spell's converted mana cost. So this is just, taken from other colors, some mechanics that are going to make people go, oh, what just happened here? Change the target of a target spell. Oh, great. Liliana of the Dark Realms. All right, we're obviously in the Shenanigans section. Search your library for a swamp card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library for an uptick. Target creature gets +X/+X or -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of swamps you control. Wow, is that a versatile -3? In its ultimate, you get an emblem with swamp you control has add 4 black to your mana pool. And if you pull off that ultimate, you're in really good shape. Phyrexian Obliterator for 4. It's a 5/5. Wow, so if you think about this, you could pay 2, 4, 6, 8 life and get this thing out. Whoa. Whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. When you chuckle about that, make sure you do it inside or else you're going to lose friends. You don't want to lose friends. Sinkhole for 2. This is a great black card. Destroy target land for 2. So that's just dealing with persnickety, non-basic lands that they might have. Sudden Spoiling. Wow, this is like fixing the board, especially when they're attacking. Split second until end of turn. Creatures target player controls lose all abilities and have basic power and toughness of 0-2. So we're talking about anything on the board in terms of creatures. We're talking about indestructibles. We're talking about gigantic, just craziness. That's just amazing. Now remember, this doesn't affect any +1/+1 counters on it. This is abilities and has power base and toughness 0-2. So just remember that when you go in swinging and you change everybody to an 0-2, it doesn't affect if they have counters on it. Swift Foot Boots. Equipped creature has hexproof and haste. Run this card. Torment of Hailfire. Black X. This is levering the fact that we are just producing an insane amount of black mana. Repeat the following process X times, so if you're choosing. Each opponent, that means all of them, loses 3 life until that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. Whew. So let's say you make this trigger 4 times. That means they have to choose whether they take 3 life 4 times, or they sacrifice 4 permanents, or they discard 4 cards, or any combination of that. So if you get this up there high enough, like black 10x, so let's say you spend 4 life to do the black and you spend 10 black mana, they got to do this 10 times. And it's not just one player. It's all other 3 if you're playing as 3 people. And this is let's take a moment of silence and go hee hee. All right. Underworld Dreams for 3. Hey, why not play this card? Whenever an opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to that player. It's going to make blue players think twice about drawing extra. Or, oh man, if you got this out and somebody played a Howling Mine, so everybody's drawing 3 cards a turn or something. He with sugar on top. And that is the deck, folks. So it is just a fun, great mono black deck to play. You've got enough spicy stuff in here that you're going to be able to hold your own against all sorts of decks. It's a versatile deck. It's got a lot of mana ramp. It's got a lot of removal. It's got the life gain so that, again, you can manage that life that you're going to be spending and gaining and spending. And you just have to make sure that you kind of think about that on your turn. It's not going to be that difficult, actually. After you've played this deck a few times, you get the feel for it when you should or shouldn't convert it into Phyrexian mana. It's going to be super easy to get your commander out fairly quickly, and even if they whack him and he ends up in the command zone again, it's only going to be 6 to get him out again. So, you know, it's all good in the hood. All right, well, thanks for watching. Be a friend of the gathering. Please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe if you hadn't done already. Put some comments down there. We'd love to hear from anybody and everybody. You like it? You don't like it? Was there a card that you thought might be great in here that you should include? Put it in the comments. We love to have dialogue with people. Check out our other episodes. And again, thanks for watching, and check you on the next episode. This was Keurig, son of Yawgmoth's Deck Tech. Oh yeah.